How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. I did a video on this camera carrying case that I use for my cameras. I thought it was a pretty good case, and I had some interest in the case and asked me if I had done any tests on it or anything like that. So what I did is I went and bought a brand new one here. It's never been used. And this one here still has my camera stuff in it that I bring to the garage. So I figured we'd buy a new case and do some tests on it to see if it does what they say it'll do. Honestly, I'm going to tell you even before we start this video, I think this case is going to do what it's supposed to do. That's my prediction. So I'm going to give you guys a real good close-up view of this case and how it's built, okay? So let's get you up here real nice and close and show you how this thing's built. Alright, the reason why I think that it's going to do what it says it'll do is because they cover themselves when they with the warranties or the warnings on the side. So I'm going to put this thing up nice and close to the camera so you guys can read the warning. And it tells you you're not supposed to submerge it in water. The valve on the front is for altitude changes. So everything there pretty much covers it. Yeah, like I said, you're not supposed to put it underwater. Not supposed to force it underwater. But guess what? We're going to force it underwater, and I think I might know a modification that we can do that actually might make it even watertight, but I'm not sure. But that is the warning on the side. Okay. Now, here's what it says on the, when you get your, it'll have this tag on the front. It says waterproof, dustproof, and impact resistant. So that's the tag on the front. Here is your altitude valve. I'll let you see that up nice and close. Okay. Now, for the inside. Let's get to the inside here. Okay. I got the receipt in there. This is going to tell you how much the case costs. The case originally was $14.99 was the case. I used a 20% coupon, so I got it for $11.99 with tax, 72 cents tax. It came to $12.71. $12.71. Now I don't know what you would expect. You know, how much more you would expect for $12.71, but I'm going to show you the inside. The inside, this cushion right here will come out. You can take it out. These cushions in here, these little foam pads are in layers, okay? And then these layers are, you can see there's squares in them. So you can break out the squares where you want to put your pad or whatever you want to put in here, like a camera or whatever. So you just break the squares out. So now these pads come out. I'm going to take all the pads out because our first test is going to be the water test. We're going to see if this guy, oh, this thing's pretty thick inside. Actually, it's thicker than I thought it was. This is your last pad on the bottom. It doesn't have any squares or anything cut out of it. See, there's nothing. So this one here, you don't want to cut that one. Okay, before we get to the water test, I wanted to show you guys a couple little things about the box that I noticed. Is the pins in here are metal. You can see the little metal pin going through there, and this is the latch that locks it down. Both of them are metal. And the pins in the back that hold the hinges together. See if I can get you to get a view of it. They're metal. You can see they're metal pins going through both sides. Both of them are metal. There, you can see it good there. Got a metal pin in there. It has a rubber gasket. It feels like a foam type rubber gasket going around here. And hopefully that gasket will hold the water out. But I do know a little modification we might be able to do to the case to help it seal the water out. So there's a couple things. Now it does have, let me latch this down because we are going to be doing the water test first. It has two little holes here for a little lock. Just tiny little locks. If you choose to put a couple locks on it, you could. You can see the locking hole. Right there's a hole there. And you have a hole over here for a lock. So that's just a few things about the box before we get to testing it and see if it'll do what it says it'll do. Okay, just to make sure you see there's nothing in the box. It's just an open box. And like I said, just a rubber seal. I'm going to latch it back up. And we're going to take this little tag off of it. We don't need that thing. So there's the box. Just sealed it up. And we got a bucket of water here. We're going to see if it'll hold out water. And I'm not going to push on this seam right here because I don't want to change it or anything. I'm just going to put it down in the water. And we'll hold it for maybe, I don't know. What do you think? We'll count to 20. Okay, I'm sure that's been at least 20 seconds in the water. And I am holding it completely underwater. You can see it's down underneath there. There's nothing on the outside. I mean, that's not out of the water. That's been a little while, and that water is super cold. So I'm not going to open this thing until I get all the water off the outside of it. I'm not going to cheat. If the thing holds out water, it holds out water. So we're going to set it. Let me see. I don't want it to get out of you guys' sight, so we'll just set it right there. I'm going to get the air hose, and we're going to blow all the water off the outside of it while it's still out there in the open. Hopefully my air compressor won't kick on and kill the volume, but I'm going to just blow the water off. You know what's crazy is I didn't even screw the screw in. I didn't tighten this up. So it may have water on it. We might have to do this test again. Okay, I think I got a good bit of the water off of it. So, I'll get another one of these cardboards. I don't want it to fall back down in the water. It's got a little dampness on it. I'll get a paper towel here and wipe off some more. Now I don't know, it would seem almost impossible that there wouldn't be water in there because like I said, I didn't screw the valve. I forgot to screw that valve on. So if it don't, then there's no way that this thing is going to leak water. So let's see. The big test. Oh, it's got water in it. Now I could have blew some in there, but we're going to do this test all over again. I'm going to dry this case out real good. And we're going to make sure this guy is tight this time because we might have got water through there. So I'm going to dry it out. There's not much in there though. There's not much. There is water in there. You can see right here. There is some water in there. So let me get it dried out and then we'll get to it again. Okay, just to be fair, I want you guys to look and see that there's no water in there. And this time we closed the valve. Everything is dry, looks good. A little dampness right there. Okay, we're going to try this thing again. We're going to close the lid. Slam that thing, see how much water comes out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and latch. We got this piece tightened. We're going to close our latches. Back down in the water. Alright. That is some cold water. I don't know how long I can keep my hand under there. I can put my thumb under there. That's good. Not my whole hand. I'll have a numb thumb. So it is under the water. As you guys can see, it's completely submerged in the water. Now this is something they tell you not to do, so this is not something you want to do. If you have a camera or something like that in there, you're not going to want to submerge it in water. But I think if you had this like on a kayak or something like that, and you were kayaking and you was going to take your camera stuff in there, I think this would work okay because it would float on top of the water. This thing will float. And if we're just going to throw it in water like that, it's not going to get water in it. So hopefully this thing does a little better job. I think it will. It seems like it would because of, you know, I had that opened, that valve opened the last time. And that's not good. So it's been under there a little bit. And man, that water is cold. Alright, that's enough. That's about all I can stand. My hand is froze. So let's get some of the water off of it. Put our cardboard down here again so it don't fall in the water. Now I'm almost pretty certain that my air compressor is going to kick on this time and make a bunch of racket, which is going to be hard to hear. But I got to blow the water off of it because I'm not going to know if there's any water inside of it. Time to open the box. That thing is dry as dry could be. There is absolutely not one drop of water inside that. Not one drop. So I would say for waterproofing, it's waterproof. It did exactly what it said it would do. Well, and more, because we put it under the water. Okay, for this case being waterproof, I would say it's waterproof. You see me hold it under the water, so I'm going to say on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it a 10 on being waterproof. For sure. But now, if you was to happen to get one of these cases and you wanted to test it and you did get a little bit of water on the inside, with the valve closed and the lid closed. What I was going to do as a modification for that was I was going to take a little bit of Vaseline and rub it on that seal and clean it off real good, because that Vaseline will help it seal to the lid or to the bottom plastic piece. So if you did have problems, try just a little bit of Vaseline, not a thick layer, just a tiny little bit, and wipe it off. And I'll bet you that will help you a lot on the case, keeping it dry, everything inside dry. So next test. Okay, our next test, we're going to do the egg test. The impact. We're going to see if we drop this thing, which it says don't drop it, but we're going to drop it anyhow. We're going to see if it'll break our eggs. And I'm going to give them, I'm going to put these eggs about how I have my cameras in my case. I didn't want to do this test with mine, so I'm going to go 2 squares from the outside edge here, and we're just going to start breaking out little squares until we can get our egg to fit down in the foam. Now, anytime you pack something in here, you want it to be fairly snug in there. So we got 1 egg here. We're going to do 2 from that side there. It's about where mine is. These are actually pretty easy to get out too for packing whatever you want to put in these. And then we're going to stick this egg. Ooh. I think that looks good. We'll put them in there just like that. So we got 2 eggs in there. Now we're going to see if we can break the eggs. We're going to see how the impact does. Now this is basically set up the same way my cameras are in my case. I put them in there snug so they fit decently tight. You can see the eggs in there. Now, they say don't drop this thing, but we're going to drop it for sure. Okay, I won't be cutting the camera, anything like that. So we could change out boxes, which I can't. Ooh, no, wait a minute. We got to finish one thing. You guys almost let me forget to put the foam in the top. So I got to put that foam in there. If I forget that, that'd be cheating. So we got the foam in the top now. We got the 2 eggs in there. We're going to close it up. Okay, now it says don't drop it. So if we was holding it like this, when we dropped it like that, we're going to check the eggs. The eggs are perfectly fine. So now we're going to take it and drop it from a little bit higher. Hey, let's drop it like that. Let's see how the eggs look. Eggs are still fine. I don't think my camera case will ever be dropped like that. I don't think. So let's try something a little harder. Let's throw it down. Now let's check our eggs. Whoa! Our egg went down in further, but it's not broke. Neither egg is broke. Ooh, they're way down in there. Okay. That's a pretty hard hit. Now, I don't think a camera, you would want to drop a camera that hard. Maybe a gun or something, if it was unloaded, it'd probably be okay in there. But let's see. Let's try. Let's do it. I hit it on that side, I think, so let's try this side. Yeah, I hit that pretty hard. This time, we broke the case. That's a pretty good hard hit. That's a pretty, ooh, I think we got egg juice. Look, we got juice. I think we broke our egg. That's a pretty hard hit. I don't think you're ever going to drop this thing. Our pin broke off right here. This one is still intact. Let's see how bad. Oh, look at our eggs. Oh, we got some nasty eggs. So that was a pretty hard hit. That was harder than I think you'd ever want to drop your camera or anything like that. The only thing, like I said, you could see right here, the clip, the corner, it broke out on it. We got nice juicy egg all over it. Didn't hurt the hinges at all. Got a little crack right there. No, that ain't a crack. It looks pretty good actually, all but that little crack right here and a little crack right there. Now I did notice that the latch is missing too, so this latch broke off. It broke the corner right there. It broke the corner right there, which would have been one of the ears for the latch. So you can't, I mean, that hard of a hit. And another thing I wanted to show you guys too is the handle has metal pins in it too, and this handle is pretty strong. I should have drug it down the road behind my truck, but that's all right. I think that gives you an idea of how much of an impact this case could take. And water, I do honestly think that this guy is pretty waterproof. I don't think you're going to have any problem with water. And the impact either. I really don't think you're going to have any problem with the impact. That last time I threw it on the floor, I threw it pretty hard. And that was what led to breaking what we did. But the third hit, I threw it down pretty hard too, and it didn't do any damage to it at all. The second hit, absolutely none. And the first hit basically was just like I just put it in there. Alright, this test was done on the concrete. It wasn't done in the yard, it wasn't done on dirt. This was done on concrete. And concrete is some of the hardest stuff you're going to drop your camera case on. It would be concrete. If we was to take it out in the yard, I probably think we would have busted the eggs, but I don't think we would have busted the case. I think the case would have held up okay in the yard. But being that it was concrete, I think that's what made it blow up the case and bust what it did. I found the other clip that it came off of it, and it's still intact. It's actually still a good clip. There's nothing wrong with the clip. The pin, I couldn't find the little metal clip or the little metal pin, but the clip is here. So I think basically this case did what it said it would do. There's only one other thing it says, dust and dirt resistant. And you know, if it's going to hold water out, it's going to hold dirt and dust out. So I don't think that would even be a test that we would have to do. Probably could have threw it in a sandblaster for a little while, but yeah, I don't think it'd have any problem with it holding out dust. So I'd like to tell everybody thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Until next time.